Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Bit of a down week this week. We've had a lot of parts not turn up, and we're still waiting on some quotes for that leg straightening and anything else. So basically what we're going to do is give it a good overhaul service, get on with a few other bits, put the rear lights in and the wing mirror, and just get it looking more like a van. So bit of a short video, but hopefully you enjoy. Cheers. The reason we've decided to do this now, which may not make sense actually within the grand scheme of things wrong with this van, but the front end is off the vehicle. It's much easier to access this belt down the left hand side of the engine. So we're going to do it now, and it'll allow us to film it for you guys as well. So first of all, just going to jack this up, get a axle stand under the vehicle, and get that front driver's side wheel off. If your van isn't in the state of ours, you'd need to remove the wheel arch lining from that driver's side and also the under tray. So just got this jacked up, got the wheel off on this side, the engine's supported a little bit by the jack, so we're going to take the engine mount out just so we can get more space in near the belt. So 3 bolts to just loosen at this point. One's here, goes through this stack, but you get to it from underneath. Same 16mm on this side here, and then one just underneath that. In order to get the engine mount out, we need to separate the 2 pieces from each other, which is these 3 bolts on the top. Then the second part of the mount, which is mounted to the top of the chassis leg, is just 2 bolts, one at either side. Normally there would also be a bolt where you see the little hole in ours, but it was missing. But it's I believe it's just an M10 bolt, which we'll replace. Just going to use this timing belt locking kit to lock in place the cam, the idler pulley, and the camshaft. To access the camshaft, you need to remove this pulley on the bottom. That's done by 4 Torx keys, and then we use this bigger tool to lock that in place. Next, we're just going to loosen the nut on the tensioner and roll the tensioner back so we can release the tension on the belt and then take it off. So we bought this kit from GSF Car Parts, £112 for the kit, which came with all the nuts and bolts you would need, a new tensioner, the belt, and all the pulleys, etc. to go around it. The old belt will be tight, so just give it a little wiggle and it will come away. This van came with no service history, but we were told it was well maintained. Probably can see that from the outside of the van, but looking at this belt, I think the way it's been stored in the salvage yard, etc., has just resulted in the belt looking more like an old leather belt. 3 Torx keys to remove the old water pump. Be careful here, if any fluid comes out, it may go all over your driveway. Our water pump has obviously seen better days. I think that's from the weather not having its cover on in the salvage yard. But when I take it off, you'll see it doesn't actually spin. It's very rough. Placing the water pump's really easy. Ours doesn't have any electrical connectors or anything like that. It didn't come with any new bolts either in the kit, so just applied a little bit of Loctite to them, and then I'm going to screw the 3 bolts back in. Both of these belt guides came in the kit, so we're just going to replace those. One is secured with a nut, and this one is secured with a bolt. You'll see on the new tensioner that there's a guide rail on the back that just slides into the block just below the cam. So nice and easy, we'll rotate this tensioner with the Allen key, make sure the guide is between the 2 marks, and then lock it in place with the nut. Once we're happy with the tensioner being in place and the belt being well seated, we're just going to remove all the locking pieces, and then we're going to just rotate the engine by hand by putting a spline in the crankshaft and rotating it with a ratchet. The lower part of the cover goes on first. We got new set from MAN, a little bit cheaper than VW. First, and then attaching the second piece to the chassis leg and joining the two together. Nice easy bit to finish once the airbox is back on, putting a new filter in there, nice and lovely.
Hi guys, so I'm just going to have a go at changing the cabin filter. Gareth is doing something a bit technical, so I'm going to stick with the easy bits. I have taken the glove box off because I think it's behind here. And I think it should be behind there. Can't see it. It's quite huge. What do you think?
Yeah, get it whacked in.
So I think it was just that way. Yeah, it's in. It was a bit fiddly, but managed to get it in. Now I'm just gonna put a screw there just to hold it in place, and then I'll go around now and tighten it, and then try and get this back in, and then it's all done.